It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2018 Innovation Award winner, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads, fathers, and male caregivers. It's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And being part of that movement, we've reached out directly and indirectly to over 400,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world. And as always, I like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. Broadcasting live on Monday, January 19th. And it is supposed to be a very cold week in Toronto this week. I think there's only one day it's going to get close to the freezing point, but the rest of it's supposed to be really cold. And when I got up this morning, I listened to a station in Buffalo. They have a weather alert till Wednesday, cold and snow. So Buffalo, you stay down there. But good morning, Ryan Knight on the Morning Vibe. How are you?
I'm very good. Listen, it's up here enough. All I can think about is our conversation on Friday about getting our passport for Jamaica because I need to get out of Canada. The snow is getting me to the brink. It's too much shoveling now, too much. But for those that don't remember myself,
That's funny.
my name is Ryan Knight, one of the co-founders of the Afro Caribbean Business Network. So we support entrepreneurs of African and Caribbean heritage, really to figure out what stage their business is in, and then help them create a strategy to grow their companies exponentially. And I'm an entrepreneur myself. I do run a company called Detailing Nights. So we provide mobile waterless car cleaning. So we go to people's houses or their offices, clean their cars on the spot without using water, and our plant-based eco-friendly cleaning supplies, and actually getting some calls from schools already about setting up car wash fundraisers for the
Wow. Well, they,
spring.
they want to get their mindset thinking warm, so they come to you
Yeah,
first.
and I embrace it. I will love, like, by all means think about the spring and the summer. So yeah, if you know anybody that runs or is part of a sports team or a school initiative that could use additional funds and wants to do a car wash fundraiser, definitely check out our website, detailingnights.ca, and sign up.
Excellent. How was the weekend?
It was good, not too eventful. Definitely filled with Christian's basketball games, so we got
Oh,
to go watch him play some basketball
oh,
and go thrifting with my daughter Jasmine. We were at Value Village checking out the deals, found some
oh.
interesting items. So yeah, it was a cool weekend.
Okay.
How about
Okay.
yourself? What were you up to?
Had a show on Saturday with Aisha. Lala's not, a lot of people not health wise, they're not well at this time. A lot of people with
Yes.
colds, flus, but Aisha was there. And yes, they had a great show with Kofi Sadat and Kofi Morse. We had a really interesting conversation about uh, Black men and peace. And
Okay.
we and the, I had and the thing is, these days I bring so many conversation pieces it doesn't fit into the show, and they're depending on how many people we have here today. I got a number of questions to ask you about peace and having peace.
Yes.
Would you rather have peace or be happy?
Whoa. It it's two separate
Well, that's the thing. People
dynamics.
are saying
Wow. You
but
don't have peace. Can you be happy?
well, there are a lot of deep questions, so I don't
Um,
want to get into. Depending on how many people are here today, I because I've got a lot of questions, interactive stuff,
yeah.
but we'll see what happens today with that. But there's a lot of interesting. So today's a Mix It Up Monday. And on Mix It Up Monday, it's your chance to shape the conversation, share ideas, and vibe with the community through real talk, fresh topics, and positive energy. So basically saying it's a free for all today. So whatever you want to chat about, you get to chat about. You're driving the ship today. So
It's nice.
Ryan, are there any things on your alleged mind?
I mean, initially, I love LinkedIn and listening to different stories and people going through, their business journeys and seeing a good amount of entrepreneurs in the Black community that have amassed some success, especially in the US, but then get ousted from their companies and have to buy back their companies. I'm not sure if you follow like the Slutty
Hold on.
Vegan.
Get what do you mean ousted from their companies? And
So when you get into the world of like private equities, so you're
yeah,
getting investments, having co-founders, it doesn't always go well when the co-founder then wants you out, or you might get into additional debt and then have to sell portions of the company. There's many ways that an entrepreneur can get ousted. I mean,
That is, I haven't heard a lot about that. And look who's in the house.
hey,
Dr.
Dr. Bob.
Dundas. He's in the house. Hold on.
Yes, Dr. Dundas.
I have not heard a lot about that. That is interesting.
Yeah, so the most recent one I was reading about, so a gentleman named John Henry in the US, he had helped us start a company that does insurance stuff called Loop. So he had brought in a co-founder, they were building the company together, and then he posts on LinkedIn the detailed accounts of the co-founder ousting him out of the company. And so if
Whoa.
you want to check out a wild story, and it just goes
Whoa.
to show like picking your partners is so important, just
Mhm.
how you, uh, I guess, structure the company. But then there's always ways that a person can get you out, but then that creates a
Wow.
lot of angst. So, and it
Okay.
just reminded me of like the slutty vegan and another lady that I think she does a type of alcohol, like a whiskey.
Yeah.
Same thing happened where you bring in investors and then they can edge you out.
Okay. Let's go to break because this is a very interesting conversation up that I knew nothing about. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go for a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna go deeper into this because I wasn't aware of this at all.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in about 30 seconds and we're going to do our little housekeeping. We're going to go deeper because I think this reveals a lot of different variables in business relationships. So we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Watch Primetime Saturdays on Saturdays, 5 p.m. Eastern, where Aisha K. Staggers and Laura Lala Key try to make sense of the nonsense in American politics and culture.
Yo, peace. It's your guy, J Soul.
And it's Mark Vision in the building.
You are watching The Morning Vibe with Dr. Vibe and Ryan Knight.
Whether they chopping up the heavy stuff between
Or
themselves,
bringing in people you need to hear from.
the goal's always the same. Create a positive morning vibe.
So stay tuned and ride with it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, we are back. You like that one, eh, Ryan? I see you like it.
Yeah, that's solid. I love it.
All right, so let's do a little bit of housekeeping. Watch and subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Also, follow the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and Substack. Join our Discord group. You can do it by hitting the information here. dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. That's my email. And also there's a link there for Discord. Can't forget our good friend, Dr. Tachi in Fort Lauderdale, her platform, Indie Soup TV. Over 28,000 YouTube subscribers in over 2 years, which puts her in subscriber-wise in the top 4% of all YouTube channels. There you go. So let's.
Did you see?
One other thing we got to do. Hold on. One other thing we got to do. Got to give Fitness IQ. Cam says, "Manin," and also LinkedIn showing scandal.
But did you see? There's rumors that YouTube is demonetizing faceless AI videos. So the AI slop stuff that you might
Yep.
be seeing posted, apparently
Good.
YouTube's cracking down on it.
Good.
So that was interesting.
No, that's fantastic. I think that's really good because there's so much YouTube slop going on. And I'm making one of the things I'm doing in the next one is making a bigger dive into AI stuff. So there's a lot of interesting stuff I'm working on in the background offline in regards to AI and being more productive with it. And I'm absolutely enjoying it. But I want to get back to your story here
Absolutely.
about this stuff. So this is okay. So
So I
Mr.
have it up
Knight
when you're
is,
ready.
yeah, you are okay. So what's happening here? So people are in business together, or
Yes.
they're in a business, and then okay, I'm not clear. Give me the scenario again. I need to understand.
So I guess the age old, conflict of working with co-founders. So the biggest story in history is probably not so much a co-founder, but with Steve Jobs and Apple, and the company gets to a point where the board can now oust you. So
Mhm.
similar things I'm noticing are happening to a lot of black companies that start to see some success. And so the most recent one, I was notified, and I've been following John Henry because he was running, if you might remember, let me see if I can find the company that he used to be part of that I was a big, big fan of. It was Harlem Capital. I don't know if you ever heard of that investments fund.
No.
So Harlem Capital in the US, really, like, he was the poster child for getting investment for black companies and going out and raising funds and really being transparent about the whole journey. So he had left there and then started Loop, which is an insurance vehicle. But it just made me think of, when you're trying to grow your company, there's so much horror stories of founders getting ousted from their companies, and it's like, how do you protect yourself from these things? And so, yeah, I wanted to chat with you to see if you had heard about it and share with the audience what he's going through, because he's being pretty candid about the whole journey thus far. And even I'll play a bit of the video I think he has down here.
Now I'm in the background trying to set this thing up.
Yeah.
Now, see, and this brings up so many conversation pieces because, again, that's another thing. What was the agreement that was signed
Right.
between the partners? And again, that's the thing. When
Yes.
you're now, all these partners, were they friends? Were there outsiders that came in? What's the dealio?
Yeah, and he breaks it down because I believe they had built it together. So I know, hey, he's saying for like the past 18 months they've been trying to put it together, but now, and he quotes them that his
Oh,
mentors,
wow.
hey, John, it's a cold game. You have to fight for what's yours. But now he's saying his co-founders trying to run away with the entire company and leave him with zero. So he's just talking about right now it's at its most valuable. It's 100% there. So it's between them two. It's not like other investors came in, but greed is a wicked thing. And at a certain
You're
point,
kidding. You're kidding.
person, you feel like you trust somebody. But yeah, when you're ready, I'll play the video. And
Yeah, I'm just trying to set it up on the back end here, and it's not doing what I want it to do right now.
let me see.
Now, have you heard anything like that in your conversations with Black entrepreneurs in this country or even in North America?
Not to the scale, but definitely the inner conflict. Like when people try to start companies with other people. I mean, one of the, I guess, I don't know if I would say most famous, but something that went sideways was the Canadian black marketplace. There was an
Oh,
issue with the two founders when they tried to open up a location in Brampton, and that, how you say, mash up. And it's like two people that had, I think one person had a store in Burlington, the other person had the store in Pickering, but then them trying to come together to do it in Brampton. And it just, like it all comes down to the agreements, what people believe another person is responsible for. And so just seeing, I don't see a lot of co-founders able to stick it out and really scale. And if you just look at how many businesses actually get to, like seed capital, series A, and IPO, doing an initial public offering, there's few and far between, if any. I can't think of any in Canada. I know there's about 10 in the US of black companies on the stock market, but we haven't figured out the formula to really scale quickly and build these like large companies.
hmm. So, with the example you're sharing with us, I was way back when I was in a situation, potential situation like that, and it's funny because I've brought up this story up to yesterday that I was in a potential business arrangement with a gentleman, and we differed, and we kindly went our separate ways. And there's been pretty much it hasn't come up since, but we just went our separate ways and said, hey, no problem. You do you, I do me. And that was before we actually signed an agreement. There was a
Gotcha.
there was a place where we didn't agree and said, you know what? Let's just call it a day. And if you want to continue on with it, no problem.
But you see, a lot of times I've noticed business owners don't have that conversation before they start the work. They just, hey, we're vibing with each other. We're just going to start this. So they've never really identified what should go into a contract and then sign that contract and then hold each other accountable. It's usually they're already operating and then they're like intertwined, and now you have to figure out somebody is viewing something a different way, and they're like, well, that's not what I signed up for, and it's like, well, that's what I understood. And then sometimes the business is generating money, so you have to try to figure out the split, and it can get really ugly when there's no contracts in place and another person trying to sue the other person. It can get really messy,
Hmm.
right?
Okay. I'm working on trying to get this thing up. So just bear with me here.
Yeah, no worries.
This thing is gonna be yeah, the software isn't doing what I want it to do here. So let me just fool around a little bit. So the Canadian Block Marketplace had a disagreement then.
Right, and then that causes the business, which is a great idea. And in Brampton, I was in Brampton at the time, and then you find out that the store is going to close, and you don't know what's going on. So us not able to work together and have these types of agreements and be able to grow an idea causes now the community to suffer because we lose out on a great store that should exist. I mean, that should be franchised across Canada by now. And
Mhm.
again, it hasn't really been able to fully fulfill its potential because you'd think working with somebody is going to help you get it to that next level, and then it doesn't really work out.
Okay, I think I'm going to be able to allow you to play this video. So there we go.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
So if you'll see, first he posted this. So an update on Loop, which is the insurance vehicle that they had built. So for 6 years, he worked tirelessly to build Loop alongside his co-founder. Last 18 months, navigated through a difficult turnaround. And at the end of the tunnel, the business is its most valuable and it's nearly 100% theirs. And now the co-founder is trying to run away with it all and leave him with zero. He's like,
Wow, run away.
"Damn."
So he's putting all this out in public.
He just, man, and that's where I've always been following him, especially on Instagram, because when he was building Harlem Capital, I was so interested to hear how he was building this venture fund, and he would do videos and track his journey and show like behind the scenes. It was awesome. But then when he started Loop, it was like, okay, it's like from a distance you're watching, but then to get this update, and this was a month ago, it's really disheartening to hear that he's going through this. And so now he's talking about, hey, I'll be damned if I sit idly by. Would have rather done this with her. And since she insists on bidding against him, the bid to acquire the company I guess the company's assets is in full. So his mentor told him, hey, John, it's a cold game. You have to fight for what's yours. And now he spent 2 days in denial, 2 days in disbelief, 2 days in shock, and he says he's gonna fight. So now we're gonna see. He's gonna give a bit of a breakdown.
Can't hear it.
Oh no. Let me reshare because I shared the audio. Why isn't it not coming through?
Okay, we lost that.
Hold on. Audio. Share.
Okay,
Is it coming through?
not hearing it.
Still nothing?
Are you hearing it on your end?
I can hear it, but you're not hearing it.
No. Oh, hold on.
Hmm.
Okay, go ahead now. Play it now.
Okay.
Okay, so I can't believe I'm saying this, but for the past week, I've been fending off a hostile corporate takeover attempt from my co-founder, Carrie Ann Nadeau. Recently, I shared in a YouTube video that I was incredibly excited to share some news we had been working on. Well, that news is we have been submitting my company Loop through a restructure, which is essentially a mini bankruptcy, and we formed a new entity to acquire the assets from the old entity, purge the business from its liabilities and its debts, and clear the cap table, and essentially walk away as 100% owners between two partners and continue growing the business. We did this with the blessing and approval of our shareholders and directors. I myself spent 12 tireless months orchestrating this transaction. It's enormously complex. And we actually got all the way to close. And on the closing day, I was presented with an ultimatum by my co-founder that either I give her all of the IP of the company unilaterally just to her, or she's gonna blow up the close. So since then, it has turned into a full-on dispute. And right now, our company sits in what's called receivership. So Loop Mobility Inc. is presently in control of the bank. The bank owns right now all of our assets, customer list, technology, brand, absolutely everything. And operations are halted. We have thousands of policyholders that are unable to access systems and get customer care. And more troubling is Carrie has reached out to agents and represented that Loop is under new management and that she's somehow the new manager and owner. And I had to reach out and correct a record that is not true. And so right now, we are each having to submit a bid for the company and see who walks away as the owner. The original deal with the bank was a cashless close. I submitted in an offer late last night, and that offer in cash paid in one lump sum at closing. And I'm proposing that we close today. And my offer has a fully licensed MGA, fully insured. We have a staffed executive leadership team. We are ready to rock and roll from day one. We have $1 million revolving credit line, all of this pre-committed, in hand, and ready to rock. So we are ready to get back to business, serve our policyholders, and we have a very compelling offer that we believe will win. And so I guess, Carrie, it's your move.
So to me, this is just absolutely wild. Like it's amazing, and I love that he shared what's going on, because it gives window into a lot of what Bay Street and Wall Street, what they call corporate raiders, will do to companies. Now, like when the bank owns your company, you think to yourself, like, how did we get here? And so to know that they were working so hard in line and like in lockstep, and then at the end, the very end, when you think that you're gonna, like you go to sleep thinking the next day you're gonna close something, and you get this kind of gut punch from your own co-founder that now switches up everything, and you're fighting amongst yourselves instead of fighting for the company. It's disheartening to hear, and it's unfortunate, because that could be one of the companies that's a blueprint for how to grow and scale, and now it becomes more of a I guess
It's still a blueprint on how not to grow.
like a blueprint on what to look out for, and not to, and how do you protect yourself from your co-founder turning on you. So yeah, it's pretty disheartening to hear, but I'm glad he shared, because we need to know how business really operates. Like, this is real. This is the real deal.
Well, first thing I would say to him is, I'm sorry to hear about the situation, but the bigger thing is, I hope he's lawyered up.
Yeah, but then man, it's so expensive. You're spending so much money to fight.
I know, but
your own people, right? It's like
I know
spend that money elsewhere.
We have some comments here.
Yeah.
First thing says, Ryan, another Ryan, actually, who was an intern with the Dr. Vibe show this time last year. He says, seems ridiculous that people would start a business without having the right conversations first. And actually, I want to congratulate Ryan because he just landed a position with Chorus Entertainment. So
Hey, congrats. That's
that's a beautiful thing. Uh, question for Mr. Dundas says, how is the Dragon Dens guy partnership going?
yeah, and this is where it makes interesting like decisions that I've made in the past. These examples highlight it because I had to like really dig deep and think, okay, do I want to give 25% of my company up? And yes, you're weighing the pros and cons. And at the end of the day, you're trying to figure out, okay, what is the benefit of being able to work with a gentleman like Brian from 1-800 Got Junk? Amazing credentials, but giving up 25% of the company long term, all said and done, didn't end up giving up the percentage, but we still were able to get mentorship from Brian. I get to work with his team. So their teams supported us in being able to franchise the company, and we're looking to launch that fully this year without a big chunk of the company going out the door. And then when you look long term and you hear these horror stories, and again, nothing against Brian, I think he's an amazing gentleman, but it's like, how do you protect yourself from these types of things in the future happening? And yeah, these are conversations that business owners need to make. And giving up big portions of your company down the road, you're always going to have to raise more money. You need some guidance on how to do that properly. And so yeah, things are still going well, still meeting with him, still working with his team, but didn't have to give up the 25%.
There's and it's it seems that all of a sudden a number of Black entrepreneurs want to get my thoughts and sharing their journey with me. One of the things I see that is lacking on the Black entrepreneur space is that you have a group of entrepreneurs who have basically got to that first stage, and what I call, well, the second stage. Well, let me put it this: they've got to a stage where they're making the business is going well after it started up. They're doing like $100,000 a year in revenue. What they're lacking a number is the mentorship to get to the next level.
Yeah,
There's a
absolutely.
lot of programs out there for a number of programs out there for Black entrepreneurs that, if you're just starting out, but there seems to be a lack of resources to help those businesses that have got by their initial stage, but get the mentorship to the next level.
Absolutely. And that's where you could be, because you need people that have done it to be able to give that mentorship and that guidance. And typically those that have done over a million, they're focused on doing their thing. I haven't seen many business owners in the Black community doing over a million that
Well,
in
not even over a million, even $100,000, $200,000 a year. I'm they there I don't, and hey, they've got their thing to do exactly, but giving back or providing, making themselves available.
Gotcha. Yeah.
There's a lot of availability if you're just starting off or you're in the ideation stage. But I'm thinking of one company, and I won't get into too much detail. They're a very good company, two ladies that run it, and they say, we don't, all these programs out there, we're past that. We need to get to that next step. So I've
Exactly.
been searching on hopefully going to be able to provide them a resource that's an all women's incubator that provides resources and mentorship for them to go to that next level.
Absolutely. And that's what, like, the organizations that are part of this Black entrepreneurship ecosystem, we need to start curating those types of mentors so that, like you said, when an entrepreneur is at that stage, we should be able to plug them into the support they need to be able
The
to
next
grow and
level,
make
you have
it.
to grow,
Yeah.
to grow. So
Oh, there's actually a good one that the Black Opportunity Fund is starting with BFN for entrepreneurs doing, I think, around 250,000 and up.
that's
So I'll connect you, or unless you've
that'd be
already
good.
connected them. Yeah.
So Fitness IQ Camp says, fortunate for my mentor. Now it's to apply what is said, though. There you go.
Ooh, yes.
Application. And Ryan says, thank you, Dr. Vibe. And Ryan, hey, the pleasure is ours. That's when I get the best benefit where it can help someone get to that next step there, get to their next best step. So fantastic. We'll certainly be having a conversation sooner rather than later, Ryan, in regards to all the details. Tim Frey Tech
Yeah,
42
morning.
tomorrow. Morning, everyone. That's an
Nice.
interesting handle. That's an interesting
Yeah,
handle.
added that to the end, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think I know what it has to do with, but I'm not gonna speculate and guess. But yeah, I think it just looks at all the different facets of business. There's not only a business aspect, but there's a human aspect. There's a relationship aspect. There's so many different aspects other than just the bottom line. Because yeah, you need money, you get money. Well, that's not the whole kit and caboodle. There's other things that go on there.
Absolutely. And that's where like people's motives change. Like when money
Yes.
gets to certain levels, suddenly it's yeah, everything that you thought about the person changes because dynamics change, especially when money becomes life changing. So you could imagine this co-founder, like with the John Henry situation, probably noticed that, oh, if I do certain things, I can control the entire bag instead of having to split it. And it's like you would think, oh, but we're partners in this. Like you wouldn't think that your co-founder is even thinking of splitting and taking the whole thing, and especially with how much work that he put in to build it to where it is, you think, but this is a valuable person to keep in the company and work together. Instead, they feel like they can do it on their own. So I wonder who's in her ear giving her the advice. Like, did you know that you can actually own this whole thing and not have to work with your partner, man? And that's where it is a cold-hearted game, this business world at certain levels is, and then they just look in your eyes and be like, hey, it's just business, don't take it personal, it's just business.
Like I said, I'm just speaking to that gentleman is lawyered up
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
when you're sharing all of that publicly, you got to make sure that you got your lawyer say, okay, this is what I want to share. Is it okay to share this?
Right,
Yes or no. If he hasn't got lawyer backing, that could get ugly. The other person say, hey, what are you sharing all our business for?
right. Yes, that's true.
Gotta be lawyered up. So just resetting here, we have a Mix It Up Monday, and it's your chance to shape the conversation, share ideas, and vibe with the community through real talk, fresh topics, and positive energy. So anything you family want to talk about, put it in the chat, and we'll give it a whirl.
Yes.
We'll give it a whirl. Anything else you're wanting to chat about, Ryan? I always have things on my alleged
No,
mind.
you mentioned about some questions you had about peace.
Oh, you want to go there?
I'm curious. Yeah, I'm open to it.
Okay, just give me a second. I will go. And this is, oh, you know what? We'll do this for the whole audience.
Hmm.
We're gonna do this for the whole audience. So just give me a second, and I'll pull up the inf. Okay, is this gonna work? Of course. Oh, I know why it's. Okay, give me a second here. It's gonna take a few moments. Okay, so let me put
Gotcha.
a question in the chat, and I'll multi-purpose here. So would so we'll do the Q, and this is for everybody. And in a few seconds I'll be able to pull up some more. Would you rather be, you know what, JBY or have peace? Okay. You know what? I'll put this in the comments for everybody, and then also put it as a banner. I think it may have only just went to the YouTube people, and well, everyone's watching on YouTube anyway, so that's good. All right. So let me do this. And let's put up this banner.
All right.
So would you rather be happy or have peace?
Gotcha.
Ryan?
I wonder, like, can you be happy without peace? Because I know a lot of times people ask, like, oh, would you rather be rich or have peace of mind? Because a lot of times you can't be striving only for money, and a lot of times you have to make sacrifices, especially to your morals, to hit certain levels, and then you can't sleep at night. So but between happy and peace, it'd be difficult to pick between the two. Because now, if I'm happy but not like if I'm happy but can't sleep because I have unrest in my mind, or if I can sleep well but I'm just miserable, it just seems like it feels like those two come together. But then when we talk about just having peace, I wonder what people go through, and I'll share like with my own mindset. You always feel like I always feel that there's something more to accomplish. Like you're looking at supporting the Black community, you're looking at building your business, and you always wonder, okay, especially on weekends, this is in my head where I'm like, okay, I'm relaxing right now, but I should be working. Or why am I not doing something to move my business forward, you know? Or at the end of the night, like have I done enough to move the business forward, or should I go down and send more emails or do something for the workflow and fix the funnel? Like there's always something more that you feel like you could be doing in the business. So my mind is never at peace with where we're at. And then you wonder, okay, but when you get to the next stage, are you just not going to be happy at that stage either? So there's never a milestone that you can hit that you're going to be at peace. You're always going to feel like you're striving towards something else. So you
Okay.
wonder if peace is ever even possible.
Actually, I'm going to update the question a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you had a choice to choose today, would you rather be happy or at peace? And why that choice in this season of your life?
Yeah, that's interesting, because I truly feel like I look around at where I'm at, like who I've married, my children, and happiness is definitely there. So yeah, I think I'm working on the peace side. It's, have I done enough with what I've been given based on the goals I want to hit? So I would say definitely happy. So I wouldn't want to exchange happiness for peace. I would definitely want to still be happy. It's now, how do you work on both? Because they're definitely two different things.
Okay. So I've updated the question on the screen, and also I've sent it to everyone in the comment section who's watching. So I have some feedback here. So Dr. I always has things, resources, we want to pull it out. So Fitness IQ Ken says, if I have peace, I'll be happy. Going back to our early conversation, Tim Frey says, sorry, I'm just getting into the conversation. But what I'm hearing from Ryan is that every partner, co-founders, has their own agenda. I have hundreds of partnership deal stories, good and bad. I think that'd be a really good episode.
Right? Yeah.
Talking about, the journey of being an entrepreneur, the good, the bad, and the not so good.
Absolutely. Yeah, we should put together a panel.
I think I think more. Actually, that maybe your symposium next time.
Hey, true. Yes, yes.
So Roger says, if I have peace, then I am happy.
Interesting. Is that similar to what our Fitness IQ said?
Pardon me?
That's similar to what Fitness IQ said,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. Ryan.
So what gives you peace? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Being at peace with a lack of happiness doesn't sound very healthy. I would rather be happy. Okay, interesting.
Gotcha.
Frequency of emotions, welcome, says, rest is always good to have more peace. Okay. So we got varied answers.
Because that definition of peace, it's like, is it...
Everyone has their own definition.
Right? Are you content with where you're at in life? Is it lifestyle? What gives you your peace? And then if you're not at peace, what will get you there? Like, how do you prepare and plan and execute the goal of having peace? Especially with, you feel the world around you might be burning, and you're like, right? Can I ever be at peace? Because you feel unrest based on what you're hearing on the news. Is it cutting off the news? Maybe we're listening to the wrong inputs that cause us to not be at peace. So there's so many layers of it, right?
So, okay, so we're going in. All right, we're going in. Another question here for the audience.
Yeah.
So let me create the banner, and then we'll put it on the create. Here we go. So here's a question for everybody. On a scale of 1 to 10, how peaceful do you feel most days? And how happy do you feel most days? What makes the numbers different?
Gotcha. Yeah, and
Dr. Vibes going in, family.
how many times do you even ask yourself this question? Like, we go through life a lot of times not taking stock in where we're at and how we're feeling. Are we at peace? We're always just go. So just being able to pause and even think about this is a step in the right direction, I think. It's like we should have this conversation more.
I am thinking,
Yeah.
well, we were starting to dig into this last night a little bit on Black Men Can Talk. And my thought process is there needs to be, the day that we do a live event, this needs to be talked about,
Gotcha. Yes.
because this is the other side of life, and also the other side of having a business, having peace. So Fitness IQ Cam, thank you for being honest. She goes 4 to 6 varies.
Okay.
Wow. Interesting. I would say, it's from my lens, if you have anything less than an 8, it's an area of a concern. Just my thought. Frequency of approach says 7. How the number goes down for the count is when I don't have sufficient sleep. Honest.
Okay. Yes.
This is good. People are being honest. Love it. Love this. Yeah, sleep is very important for me. Rest is so, not only mentally, but physically and emotionally. Sleep is very important. And having the blessing to be at home most of the time, I make sure even during the day, I'll do a 15-minute nap. Or if was it, someone asked me yesterday, not on the show, but outside, says, when you're in a rut, what do you do? One of the things it's my go-to is I take a shower.
Okay. And just kind of decompress.
That's one of my go-tos.
Do you have a set bedtime in the night?
Yes. I'm usually in bed by no later. It's a little bit late, but 11. But I'm more and more trying to get it to 10 o'clock.
Okay, gotcha.
Now, once in a while, yeah, it gets pushed. But what I do is, if I go to bed later, I wake up later.
Right.
I make sure I get at least minimum 7 hours of sleep, rest. Absolutely. So Fitness IQ goes less than 8 is concerning. Just from my lens, when I'm assisting people, if they give me less than an 8, I get concerned. I don't know if it's the best thing to be working from a less than 8, but that's just me. Now, again, I'm not perfect, but there are times that things go off. But
Right.
I'm making sure I get my rest, not only again physically, but emotionally and spiritually. I need that stuff. Very, very important. All right, let's go for another question here.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's do this. And I'm sure if no one answers this, I got to be a little concerned.
Oh,
So hold on. Oh, Fitness IQ goes, she doesn't like the less than 8 thing. Just me. That's just me.
right.
I just give it my, okay, so, create. So have you ever looked happy on the outside, job, car, relationship, but felt no peace inside? What was going on beneath the surface?
Okay. I think definitely being in public facing events, you're not always at your best. Like, you're not always optimum. So there's days when we'll have an event and it's like, or you have to speak, like you're on a panel or something, and you're under the weather. Maybe the business had a bad day. You got an email about a upset customer, but you always have to put on a strong face because people are expecting you to be professional
To be
when
on.
you show up to events, especially when you're putting on your own event and it's like, hey, it's game time. So yeah, there's definitely been times when you have to put on the strong face, even though things aren't going great under the hood of the car.
Under the hood. I love that.
It's like,
I love that.
yes.
Have Look at Fit. I love Fitness IQ. She's so honest. She goes, "Have I? Most times."
Oh no, yes. Well,
No,
especially when you need to be so consistent, because Camille, she's doing her show like weekly. And so when you're doing something consistent, we do ours twice a week. Other people, I mean, you're doing shows multiple times a week. You can never be at full optimized 100% output all year. So there's going to be chunks of time. But I love what Seth Godin said, where people expect you to be professional. They don't really expect you to be authentic, because your authentic self would cancel the show or be on the show and just be miserable. But when you're able to still execute and be consistent, that is being professional. So I don't expect a person to be optimal all the time. It's now, can they still perform even when, and we talk about athletes all the time. Can you perform when not injured, but like you're hurt? Everybody's hurt. The NFL playoffs have started. At the end of the season, everybody's dinged up. So nobody's at 100% like the beginning of the season, but somebody's got to still win the game. Like, you can't give up.
what Sean McDermott said? Next man up.
Exactly.
Right? But
Are
a
you
lot of
ready
times,
to step
no
up?
next man
Right.
up. The next man up is you. You're the person up, and you're the next person up.
You are the next man up.
You it.
Yes.
Ryan says, I've been unsure about the current next stage of my life while putting on a happy face. You know what? Thank you for being honest, because I know that the age demographic that you're in, there's a number of people in their 20s have that thought process right now.
Yeah.
So definitely, Ryan, I'd love to chat with that with you and see if I can assist you in getting some clarity. But yeah, and you know what? A lot of people at different stages of life are unsure, but they're just putting on that happy face outside. So thanks for that honesty. She is in the house. Dr. Tachi says, hello all.
Hey,
Fitness IQ Cam says, the worst when you get into a disagreement moments before an event. Oh boy.
Right. Yes.
Well,
I tell my staff is like, don't give me bad news before the bad news can wait till the next day. Like, I gotta be on point today.
Well, it's interesting. Man, I keep on these stories come up. I'll just say there was something that happened in the last year where I'll refer back. I said earlier on that where there's an arrangement that didn't come through between myself and another gentleman, and he puts on events periodically, and I'd be going to his events, no problem. Hi, how you doing? And then we were at an event in the last year, and he brought that up in front of people.
Okay. With not being optimal or putting on a strong face kind of thing?
No, he said that he still had some bad feelings about the event from a few years ago.
Oh, wow. Whew.
And what I did is say, you know what, I had a choice. I could address it right then and there, or just keep on moving on. I just kept on moving on.
Gotcha.
I just kept on, because I said, you know what? For you to just bring it up like that, my thought it wasn't professional, wasn't the right place. Right. And I didn't want to go back and forth. I said, if we want to address it, we'll address it offline. So that's not before an event, that's during an event. Right? So Fitness, QCam, anyone, I hope you don't get that during an event.
Right. Yes.
That's it. That is the optimal of thinking on your feet. Really. Thinking on your feet. Well, look who's in the house. Another former intern. Busy in the house. What is going on, Busy? So good to hear from you. Would love to hear how you are doing. Yes. And Fitness IQ Can goes, and when I have low energy, I explain though. Yeah, but even when you have that low energy, a lot of times they ain't gonna take any explanation. They're not gonna take.
That's where you're in certain situations, like you're going into a business meeting, you're trying to close a deal, and they don't want to hear excuses of why.
No, they don't. Don't care,
right? Like, it's either you can present.
I am paying you to deliver.
Exactly.
I'm not paying for excuses.
Yeah.
This is one of the suggestions I make. So before you do anything like that, at least 15 minutes before you're supposed to go on. Get in your zone, get in the state. Like for me, 15 minutes before, I just block everything out, forget everything that happened in the past, and just focus on what I'm going to be doing. And I visualize and get in that zone.
Absolutely. And I don't know how many others do this where that pep talk in the mirror, like that's a real thing. And it's like, listen, it's, you know, you are capable of executing what needs to get done today. And it's like a reminder. And I talk to myself, it's like, okay, whatever happens, you've done your best. Like if you go out there and you don't feel that you actually gave it your all to your potential, that's where I feel like I don't have peace. You know, I can't sleep at night if I feel I woke up and didn't try my best. But now, yeah, it doesn't matter what's ailing you. Like people want to hear what you have to say. So if you're not professional, like you said, if you're authentic and you're going to bring up the issues that are messing with you, sometimes that resonates, but a lot of times people just want you to be professional and execute the message, unless the conversation is about, hey, what ails you? Like we're talking about peace and happiness. So that's the best time to be authentic, when you get the question. But if a person's expecting you to execute a result and you're just talking about that your kids are sick and you can't, you know, it just derails from what people actually need at the time. So that's where time and place, you know, a lot of times people miss and talk about the wrong things at the wrong time.
Well, we got some more people chiming in. Tim says, to Ryan's point, every great hospitality establishment has staff that look happy but are miserable.
Okay, you see that?
Disney staff are the best. But they call that is called professionalism. Or it says Disney staff are the best at this. That is called professionalism and acting. Wow.
Right?
And again, this is so coming back to the beginning of our near the beginning of our conversation, how Ryan said these two business owners are at each other's odds. If you have a staff, do you really know how they're doing? Do you invest in finding out how they're doing?
Right.
If you are,
and to be honest, do you care how they're doing?
Well, there you go again.
Disney probably does not care how things are going on at home. You're paid to play a role that you're supposed to bring happiness to those that are coming in. So whatever is happening back home that's going to cause you now to mess up other people's experience, and especially in hospitality, imagine your waiter comes to your table and just unloads all their baggage of issues happening at home. You as the patron, you're like, yo, I just came here for my steak. I didn't come here for like to counsel you or to be your psychiatrist. So you wonder, like, and that, like, even as a customer, like, if I'm going to Disneyland, do I care how a person's doing at home or with their mental state? I'm expecting Mickey Mouse to be happy and engage with my kids. So, and you've seen these YouTube videos of like characters and costumes just having meltdowns and, you know, having a bad day. And you're like, yeah, I don't want that for my experience. So as cold as it sounds, like it definitely sounds cold. Where like you don't care how people are feeling because you want a certain experience. Is that the world that we've built for each other? Like, what? Like, how could you do something different? Like, something different is not good for business, you know?
Some more comments. It seems that we got a pulse going here with this conversation. So Dr. Tachi says, hi, Ryan and Busy.
Yeah, Dr.
Ryan says, hello, Dr. Tachi. Just Toronado, talking about a wonderful content creator who can help with mindset. Definitely subscribe to her channel and check her out. Now, she does her stuff like 6:30 a.m. in the morning, weekdays, Eastern time. So there you go. So Busy saying she's doing fantastic, which is great to hear. Also says, hello, mommy. She calls Dr. Tachi mommy. I love it. And says, sends her loads of love. Frequency Event Promotion says, positive self-talk and instructional self-talk is good. I've subscribed to what you're sharing, Ryan. Dr. Tachi shutting out Just Tornado. Roger Dundas goes, Ryan talking to the mirror like the evil queen from Cinderella. LOL.
Yeah. Is
Dr.
it Cinderella? That's Snow White, guy. What are you talking about, Cinderella?
Dr. Tachi says
mirror.
Disney does not care. It's only supposed to be the happiest place on the earth for patrons, not you, an employee. Oh.
And this is where, because when you're signing up for this, that's what you're signing up for. And I'm sure they explain it multiple times. It's like, you are here to play this role of the happiest place on earth. You can't bring your baggage to work. Like, it has to be that you're professional. I could only imagine what their employee videos, like the onboarding videos that they play and how it explains how you got to be at Disney. I would love to get my hands on those employee videos.
That would be crazy. That would be very, but but again, you don't hear too much in the media. Like, what is the after an employee is left in the work experience? I wonder if you could probably go online and get hear Disney employees' work experiences.
There was a YouTube channel I used to follow where he'd make cartoon sketches and he would talk about his time at Disney. I think it's Swoochie or something, but it was so fascinating hearing about the dynamics of working at Disney. So I'm sure there's other Disney employees that have done their reactions to working there, but yeah, that was one I remember of that guy talking about it. And it's like, yeah, and the rules are so militant, like you can't play. It's funny that it's a place of wonder and playing, but as employees, like Dr. Tachi was saying, you are like there to deliver. Like it's like you have to be on point, and to keep a person like that, the place has to be so militant. It's almost like it's a complete, well, I guess it's all theater. It's like it's all make believe. But yeah, it's wild that
we got some more comments here. Just Tornado brings some great thought process here. Empathy makes any interaction smoother and keeps it from turning someone's bad moment into your bad day.
Yeah, exactly.
Frequency Event Promotions goes, Mix It Up Monday. Did anyone watch the Dragon's Den episode that had an entrepreneur trying to secure funds for his patty company? I heard about it, but I didn't see it. Ryan, did you watch it?
I didn't watch the full episode yet. I saw the clips of it coming out. And I know of a lady named Opal that does stush patties. So I sent her a note. I was like, hey, did you see a patty company's going on Dragon's Den? But I didn't see the episode yet. So I have a PVR, so I'm going to watch that.
Okay, so, and I'm going to put it out there to you, Ryan, and also the people watching. Do you feel that putting an investment into a patty company is a good investment?
Absolutely. There are patty companies at Young and Dundas selling patties for $20 a pop. The patty industry is booming. And so now I think the clip that I saw was West Hall saying, oh, I only want to pay $2.50 for my patties. And this gentleman was selling them for $5 plus. Like, that's such an ignorant comment, because there's different tiers to all products. And so there's people that just want a convenience store patty, sure, at the train station patty or Subway, $2, and it doesn't taste great. Or there's patties that sell for $5, stuffed patties like at Stacy's that sell for close to $10. Saying that patties can't be sold for more than $2 is not factual. Like, there's bottled water that sells for $50.
That one I'll never understand that. Like
right,
I'm in the grocery line the other day, and I'm seeing they're selling individual bottles of water for 50 cents, where you can buy a case of 24 for like, I'm going,
that's commerce, man. Like, and then you put a different brand on it. You put what's it called, Evian. And
remember though the great story about Evian. What does Evian spell backwards?
Oh, I don't know. Evian, Navia. What is
naive?
Right. It does not spell naive.
Not
Because back when it's
NAIVE,
NOI.
naive. I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Okay, yes.
All right. So Tim
I
Frey says, it's not that a business owners do not care about the staff's wellness. Running a business is hard enough sometimes unless you have a staff. Yeah, unless you've had a staff of 5,100 people. Yeah, unless you manage people. Not yeah, and I fully understand, because if like when you're running a business, even a small business, you got to do a lot of different things. And human resources
And
is one of those things that
imagine,
sometimes even in big companies, human
yes,
resources is
because
is
imagine you have
interesting,
a
right?
hundred staff, and each of them have an issue they want to talk to you about. Your day is wiped, and then you look at Disney
Day,
where there's hundreds of
day,
thousands.
day,
So you
day.
have to put
Okay,
parameters
day. You
around
think
that,
it's a
right?
day? Your day is okay. Your day is.
Well, that
I
becomes the
fully,
full.
fully
That becomes
agree.
the job, right?
Yeah,
Is
and
just
I know Tim
listening.
is talking from experience, so
Yeah.
respect there. Yeah, there's a lot of things. Uh Frequency of airports, maybe a conversation about peace for next time. Well, yes, make sure you spell it correctly. This is the piece we're talking about is PEA, not PIE. All right.
Right.
There
Yes.
we go. Dr. Tachi says the interesting thing is, in order to keep patrons happy, employees need to be happy as well. Workplaces often forget this. Mhm.
Well, that's where the argument is. Disney figured out how to do it with miserable people. So I think a lot of businesses like bull rush through people's emotions. They don't take the time to have that empathy because it takes so much time. So we've figured it out to just push through. Hey, you have an issue, deal with that off company time. When you're here, just focus. But when you're building a true culture at your company, that comes into play. Like how you deal with people's emotions has to be addressed. Otherwise, people will leave and then you have no business. So how, yeah, like business owners definitely have to figure it out. Some go the militant way as Disney, others go more empathetic, and you hear about like better cultures. I can't even think of a company what company has an amazing culture to work for. I don't know. Something
Okay.
like,
You
I
think
hear
that one out?
Shopify is a pretty cool place to work.
What?
So like Shopify, like when I've heard about them talking about their corporate culture and employees being happy. So I mean, it can be done. I don't think
Oh no,
Disney is the
I'm
only
sure it can be
example.
done.
Yeah.
I'm sure it can be done. There's no doubt about that. I'm sure there are
I've
places
heard
out
Point
there.
Click Care. I'm not sure if you've heard that company. They have a pretty good culture.
So
Yeah.
Dr. Chachi says a patty company, that should be interesting. She also says, I think the patty industry is the same as the burger industry. Quick, small nashables that can be filling, extremely popular right now. Now, here's an interesting take. Roger says, West Hall, everyone is entitled to their opinion. And here's Roger, who's been to over 300 Black-owned restaurants in Canada, says, but investing in a patty company, I would not do it. Roger, could you
But I'm
just
curious
expand why
why.
you,
Like,
I'd like to know what the reason is.
yeah.
And Frequency Event Promotion says, apparently there is some good conversation about the episode that has me thinking about the topic price points.
Mhm.
Yes. And actually, I wonder if, again, that organization's presenting, they've done a survey on what people can afford. Because one of the things I see a number of entrepreneurs, they don't do surveys to find out what they, and don't do the, marketing.
Right.
So Roger says, and paying over $2.50 for a patty when I can purchase a box of 12 Michelin chicken patties for $15, not happening.
And this is a different tiers. They're like Dr. Vibe said, you can go and buy an individual bottle of water, or you can go to Costco and get 30 for $3. By all means, it's two completely different customer avatars. There
Yeah.
are people that want
Who's your market?
who's the market and where are you at? Like if you're at Carabana, you can't buy a case of water anywhere.
Arabana. Yes, some Arabana.
Right? So now your only option if you're thirsty is to bring your own water, I guess, or buy the $3 water on the street. So yeah, and who knows the quality of this gentleman's patty? You can't say it competes with a convenience store $2 patty or the box of patties that you're getting at the supermarket. So different tiers.
All right.
I've never
Fitness IQ Cam says, preach, Dr. Tachi. Also says, Freaky Zen Promotions, Kvyarks myself says, no, I was right, Dr. Vibe. Peace in terms of the Dragon Dens episode. Well, I made an assumption, my fault, but you have to give me some clarity.
right.
All right. He also says, have a good day, gentlemen. Absolutely. Dr. Tachi says, Trader Joe's, which is in the US, has a fantastic company culture. And I'm not going to forget, for if you're watching live today on January 19th, for those who celebrate in the United States or around the world, happy Martin Luther King Day.
Yes, yes.
And Frequency of Empire says, and remember to keep the peace, Dr. Vibe.
Thank you very much. Yes.
I will. Tim Frey says, who's been involved in the industry of food, hospitality, says, I would invest in a patty company if they are in manufacturing and distribution.
Gotcha. Similar to like Swiss
that
patty,
yes, that is a good, that is a consideration. Roger says is the thing is, how many people are able to afford $5 patties in this economy?
a lot of people. This is where we have to remember majority of the country is doing well. When you hear
Which country?
hey, you think everybody's struggling, it's actually not true. And this is what I try to tell entrepreneurs. There are different pockets of the city. There are people doing very well. And you even talked about the K graph, that for them, the economy is growing. And then there's people that the economy is going down for, but it's not everybody. There are people that can afford to pay more for products. And the people that can't afford it is usually who we're hearing on the news. But the news does not give a representation of everybody in the country. That part I don't agree with. There are people that can afford things.
Okay. So we're going to hold on a second. So Roger says, I hear Crumbs patties are amazing. That's not the issue. It's the affordability issue for the average Canadian. Dr. Tatch says, happy MLK Day. Yes. She also says, agrees with Tim Frey's thought about manufacturing distribution. Fitness IQ Ken goes, right. $5 patty. Let me just see. Tim Frey says, there is a lot of money floating around, Dr. Vibe, more than you think. Where?
I'll give you as an example.
Actually, let me stop on that. It's where people are deciding to spend their money. There is money floating around, but the thing is, we're doing too much spending, not investing. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, but who? Like, that's what I'm saying. There's 30 million people in Canada. The vast majority are actually doing well. This is where...
What is the definition of doing well?
Exactly. What's the definition of average? They're saying the average person can't afford a $5 patty. What's the definition of average? Is that 100,000 a year, 200,000 a year? That has to be defined. You can't say the majority of people are struggling. Even the average of people are struggling. Otherwise,
I know there's people who want to come in on that one. Like, I'd love to bring on that because, okay, so Just Tornado says,
hold on, just before you share that one, the question you're asking is like, who is available? I just mentioned in Young and Dundas, there was a company selling $20 patties. Who was buying those? Obviously, people exist that can keep that company in business. So there are people that can pay for $5 patties. That I'm just saying, like
there are, but
you can't.
There are people who pay for anything. But here's the point. That's why I brought just Tornado's point here. Even the brokest person will find money for what they truly want, not because they have it, but because it creates priority. And Fitness IQ says they are struggling. They're just using debt to stabilize their lifestyle. This has gone to a whole. The family is in now. Ray says, good morning, Ray, as always. Good morning. The folks who are doing well aren't spending on low ticket items. Tim Frey says it depends on the people you're around. Roger does do an update. There are 41.5 million Canadians.
Amazing. Yeah.
Dr. Kachi says, so here in the US, particularly in South Florida, there's a patty company called Juicy Patties. They sell theirs for $4 each. So if you convert that to Canadian terms, that's about a third of that, about $5 or $6 each.
Right.
Now, Ray says the vast majority aren't doing well, Ryan. Look at the medium incomes in relation to the costs of living.
I'll pull that up. If you're saying the vast majority of Canadians aren't doing well, I'll do some research on that.
Dr. Chachi says $20 for the crust and meat. Not today, Satan. Free Consumer Promotion says a lot of people can afford the $5 patty, just like how people can pay for Gucci belts and Coach bags. Roger says, agree with the debt comment by Fitness IQ Cam. Oh, C Nurse K, good morning all. In regards to the patty conversation, a great point was made. A lot of people pay upwards of $6 for a cinnamon. That's just flour, sugar, and cinnamon.
No meat.
Right? In Jamaica, that same juicy patty is $250 Jamaican.
Yeah, okay, $2.50 converted, but that's where cost of cost of living is completely different in Jamaica. But still, that's around $2.50, and that, it's like a commodity. Like at Juicy Patties, that they wouldn't consider their patties a luxury item. That is more of a like a McDonald's style product now. Like they're just pumping out patties.
I'm still sort of about your comment that most Canadians are doing well. I don't know about that.
Hey, my research project is I'll take Ray's comment and go do my research and show what the statistics show of how many people are at what level, and then we can have a discussion about it on Friday.
Oh, and we're open on Friday, so we're counting on you to bring it. So I'll have a conversation about affordability, Black Canadians and affordability.
That's what the conservatives are pushing to win the next election, is that affordability is the biggest issue. But they lost the last election on trying to talk about affordability. So, which is true. Are the majority of Canadians suffering so bad with affordability that they're not willing to vote in another party that will help them with affordability? Both can't be true. So yeah, I'm going to do some research on that.
Okay. All right. We got, and we're doing a freestyle Friday on Friday, family, this coming. So bring it. Come for those who support Ryan, be there to support. For those who are gonna push up against him, push him back, go at it. And by the way, C Nurse K, please email me because I want to start our group and I need your email address so I can send you out information about our group that we're wanting to start. Our little I've got a name for it, but I'm not going to give it out yet. But I'm not going to do that. But here we go. So Dr. Chachi adds, and we think if we think about it, the margins for profit in the food industry are so razor thin. Absolutely.
Right.
Even if the patty is $5, they have to be selling it at an extreme scale to see the profits.
True. Yes.
Yes, please, Ryan. So Fitness IQ is already locked in for Friday. Fitness IQ says the average salary in Canada varies, with recent estimates of $68,000 to $71,000 annually. Tim Frey says, think brands. You can buy a T-shirt for $5 at Walmart, George product, or you can buy a Nike T-shirt for $34.95. Probably made in the same factory too.
Tears, right? That's what we found out about what the Gucci bags.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're all in the same place.
So Fitness IQ Cam says the average salary in Ontario varies by source, with reports the suggesting figures are $54,834 annually. That, and I'm gonna say Fitness IQ Cam, is that before tax?
Gotcha.
So if it is, That ain't a lot of money these days. Okay. Oh, Dr. Tachi has a question. Do you think the conservatives in Canada are experiencing some blowback because of the rubbish conservatives in the US? Absolutely.
And the liberals definitely are trying to make that connection that like if Polyev comes in, he'll just roll over for whatever Trump wants to do. So yeah, there's
Oh yeah,
definitely
that's
trying
why
to
we
make
have the prime minister. He won a large reason because of that.
yes, and to lean on what
But you see what he's been doing now. He just announced some deals with China.
right?
Like
Yeah, they're
they're
working
the
on
Canadian, they're certainly cheering away from the U.S. big
yeah.
time. Okay, well, okay. You see now, Ryan, you may get yourself into because people are going to come at you with your comment here. But here we go. Roger says Canada's personal debt is substantial, with a total consumer debt exceeding $2.5 trillion, driven primarily by mortgages and rising non-mortgage debt like credit cards and auto loans, leading to high debt income ratios, especially for younger households, and increasing concerns about financial strain, as reported by agencies like TransUnion and Equifax in the late 2024, early 2025. Fitness IQ Cam says, don't even mention the average salary for Black men and women. Keep on going here. Roger says the average Canadian owes over $1.70 for every dollar of disposable income, with significant regional and age-related differences. So they're pushing back on you, saying that people are doing well.
So being in debt is not doing well? Like, is that equating if you're in debt, that is a bad life?
There's good debt and bad debt, but I think a lot of the bad,
that's where
a lot of Canadians are not good debt.
But just saying the country's in debt makes that they're doing bad doesn't equate. Like people, like you said, there's good debt, bad debt. Having a lot of mortgages means that they own a house. So we have to define what
they own a house. The bank owns the house until they
pay it off. Not own the house until you don't pay your bills. So this is where hey, on Friday,
something tells you Roger's going to come on Friday now.
Dave, we definitely should chat about it because affordability is definitely a hot topic. But yeah, the definition.
Okay, right. Roger's going, Ryan, are you serious?
That if you're in debt, that means you're living a bad life. We will definitely discuss this on Friday.
Okay, Friday. So we got Friday's topic: Black Canadians and affordability. Fitness IQ Cam goes touche, Ryan. Tim Frey says, mix it up Monday topic. I would love to pivot once you move on. Under the deal announced last Friday, Canada will allow up to 49,000 vehicles to be imported. Yes, that was what I'm talking about. And from China. And the premier of this province was not happy about that because he said, first of all, the prime minister didn't tell him about it. And he calls them spy cars. He called them spy cars.
Well, there was 100% tariff put on Chinese electric vehicles. So I'm not sure how much of that tariff got removed. But those cars that they're building out there are going to give a run for their money for like Tesla and all the cars.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, 50,000 coming in. Yeah, that's going to shake.
Buy one? And I bet you they're going to be a lot cheaper than what's out there now.
I'll look at it and see what's coming in. I'm not in the market for a car right now, but I want to drive my Toyota Camry into the ground. There's 100,000 on it right now. I'm going for $1 million. I don't want to have to buy another car for the next 20 years.
Well, which leads to there's so many different cars. Does anyone who's watching this right now own an electric car?
Interesting. Yeah.
But okay, so Dr. Tachi says it's vastly different in Canada from the US, but there are a lot of people here who have medical debt, don't even talk about student loan debt and other types of debt that leave them underwater. And then Tim says, I believe you're saying, Tim, the tariff for the electric cars in Canada is 6.1%?
Reduced from the 100%? Is that what they agreed?
I want Tim to update us on that.
Big shit.
Now, Fitness IQ Cam goes, nope. I don't know what nope is.
To buy an electric car? Or if you know.
Okay, she does it. All right, good. And Dr. Tachi says, my sister test drove a Chinese BYD electric car. She says it's amazing. Yeah, BYDs are kicking Tesla's backside.
Okay.
And
Whoa.
that was one of the reasons why a certain Elon Musk was very upset when the current administration removed the subsidies for Americans to buy electric cars because they're just sitting online. I've heard a lot of good things from various sources online, and that BYDs are much better than anything that's out there, and also affordability wise.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Look at this. Finance IQ says no student debt in US is wild. I think it's higher debt than mortgage. And that's
Whoa.
something I don't hear a lot about student debt in Canada. It must
True.
exist.
Yeah. It's definitely not as I guess pressing topic as the US.
But I think that, well, debt is debt, but
Definitely
student debt in the
there.
US is crazy. Listen to this. Roger Dundas says, I'm getting that BYD once it comes to Canada.
Nice. Okay. Nice. Nice.
And
Yeah, I
Tim
saw some
says,
reviews on
yes, so BYD China car at $10,000 US would have a 6.1% tariff. So
and it
think
would
about
cost
it.
10K.
If it's 10,000 US,
What?
that's like 13, 14, $15,000 Canadian,
That is remarkable. That
right?
man, that
Right?
becomes like the go-to car. Like
There
when
you
the
go.
Honda Civic took off, that's like the new Honda Civic.
Right? Fitness IQ Cam says, we say, oh, sap about student loan. Well, I remember in high school, before we were thinking about going to university, one of our teachers says, if you take OSAP, you are a sap.
Oh no.
That's a whole other conversation. Dr. Tachi says it also could be that your student loan lenders are not as predatory as the ones here in the US. I'm telling you, this country is pressed to make Hades their permanent address.
Okay.
And again, Fitness IQ says, and some people take years. Yes, yes, absolutely. There's
Oh yeah.
student debt is just
Perpetual.
I know in the US it's crazy, and it's interesting. How come, if you're in this country, wouldn't you want to take a look? You hear so much about student debt in US. Why do you think about doing something about it here?
Right, right, right.
Look at this. Tim is on fire. Tim says, or the BYD car, $13,869 Canadian plus 6.1 for their interest model, their lowest model, which is still a fantastic car. So would you buy an electric car made in China for $15,000?
It's
Canadian?
a very compelling proposition. Like, 'cause
15,000.
typically, an electric car, so Tesla, they like their S model was like 90,000 plus. And then they came out with the Model 3, which is about 30,000 plus. So you're talking about half that for a car that potentially is like 2 times better. That's it's going to be easy for auto salesmen now to sell this car.
So Roger, I'm already gonna transfer you the fee for a ride in your BYD when it comes. All right. C Nurse
Are you
Case
going to be an Uber?
says in regards to student debt, it definitely exists, but tuition is much cheaper here than the US. I believe community college is significantly cheaper in the US compared to out of state, which is interesting because I heard a report the other day that in the United States, there are less people going to university, but community colleges enrollment is still increasing.
Gotcha.
Still increasing. So, but then the question is post-secondary education still worthwhile, which is another conversation topic. Dr. Tachi says, yes, I would buy a BYD, especially living in Asia.
Gotcha.
So for people that are here, and I'm speaking, you're going to come back on Friday. The question I have is, because I have a feeling you're going to see Roger and Ryan battle it out in regards to affordability. Because so all three of us are based in Canada. Should we name the conversation Blacks and Affordability, Black Canadians and Affordability? So we just say it Blacks and the affordability crisis. There we go.
Gotcha.
Blacks and the affordability crisis. That we're gonna, I gotta write that down because if not, but I like I'll just make sure that that is Friday's topic. Roger, hopefully you'll be around. But everyone, blacks, and because I got to write it down.
Nice.
But I think that's a really, and again, it'd be a good conversation. Crisis. Yes. Hey, even Fitness IQ Cam, like coming on camera. We'd love you to be part of that, by the way.
That'd be awesome.
Because you like to be in charge. Let me just see. Okay. So Dr. Touch says 4-year degrees. Okay. We got Ryan, are you saying all Canadians or Black Canadians?
I was talking about there's a lot of people in Canada doing well. If we're gonna segment it down to Black Canadians, hey, I'll pull up the research on that too. But
I want to focus on Black. Well, audience, do you want?
We'll talk both. We'll go macro and then segment down. But yes, I was talking about Canadians across.
Audience, what do you want to focus on? All Canadians or Black Canadians? Tell us in the chat as we do some more comments here. We're looking. Do not forget the companies making these cars in China have been making all the Tesla parts in China.
Right.
So nothing wrong with the BYDs. It's just tariffed unfairly at 100% to bring it in.
We got a crazy.
Okay. So he's also Roger's making. We also need Ray McMillan on that show and/or Wayne Harris. So I don't know if you're watching, Ray.
Yes.
If you, I may have. Geez, that's going to be I may have to do that on another podcast because setting that up is going to be crazy if I have to do it this way. So also invite Ray and Wayne, if Wayne is willing to make an appearance outside of his. This is where it's a challenge because I'd love to do this Friday because it's hot, but Wayne appears once every the first Friday each month. But we'll just go with it. If he's available, great. If not, not. Fitness IQ. We may have. She may join us. She says we will see.
That would be an amazing guest appearance.
Okay, C Nurse K says it's just. Is it just a Black community or Canada as a whole? Might be challenging to get data specifically on Black Canadians. Mm-hmm. Okay, I like the approach of starting.
You should have it.
Okay, so I like Ryan's approach of starting macro and niche and down to micro. It will give us a full picture of how well Black Canadians are actually doing compared to the general population. So we'll do Canadians and affordability. Ryan, you're coming with your deets. I'm going to reach out to Roger, Ray, and Wayne to see if they're available on it. So Fitness IQ Cam says we can do both. Also reach out to Fitness IQ Cam, but you guys got to tell me ahead of time because I've got to set it up on the screen. It's going to be crazy.
Yes.
We can do both because he did not all not Black people. Okay. Busy says all Canadians. Okay. Tim Frey says all Canadians eat, so it would be unfair to talk about patty prices as only Black Canadians eat patties.
True.
And then says he did not say. I don't know what you mean by that.
Okay. Oh, did not say all Black people, or did not say Black people? Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know.
My apologies. I do have to.
You have to go eventually.
I tried to type with my left hand to let them know.
No problem. So be ready on Friday.
Yes, looking forward to it. I'll see you there, Dr. Dundas, and whoever else joins the panel.
All right. You take care.
You too. Later.
All right, everybody. That's it for today's show. Unless you want to keep it going, family, because we got Friday's conversation set up. So we're going to be talking about Canadians and affordability. That is, and I'm going to make sure I'll set the conversation up by tomorrow at the absolute latest. I'll be reaching out to people today to see if they'd like to join us and have that epic conversation, Canadians and affordability. Let's speak it that we have Roger. Let's speak it that we have Ray McMillan. Let's speak it we have Wayne Harris. Let's speak it if we have Fitness IQ. Anyone else wants to join in? You know how to get a hold of me. But I know that's going to be a fire conversation. I know that's going to be a fire conversation. Now, things I may need to do it on a different platform because setting it up is going to be crazy in some ways. But maybe I'll give it a chance, give it a whirl. All right. Anything else anyone wants to chat about before we exit? As Dr. Thatcher say, exit stage left. All right. Well, this was beautiful. Thank you, family, for today's conversation. Amazing. We started a little bit. We started with, a company down in the U.S. The two owners are at odds with each other. Moved into Patty's. Talked about BYD cars. We talked about affordability, and we also talked a little bit about having peace in your life. A little bit of a jambalaya, but a great way to do the jambalaya on the money. And also, Tim Frey, if you want to join in, you are welcome too. Okay, so Fitness IQ Cam says, I may join on screen late, but chime in for sure. So does that mean you're going to chime in live? Does that what that means? Because if it does, I need to know sooner rather than later. But I'm going to be putting out the invites today, and I'll want to know confirmation by Wednesday in regards to that. So tell me, is that you join in on screen late? Okay. All right, that's it for today. So want to say a few things. As always, subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification button. Our next goal is 2,050 subscribers. That is our next goal. Like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Substack. Join the Discord group. Email me at dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com, or hit the link that's on the screen, or Discord. It should be on most of the platforms where you're watching this live on the replay. There's a link there. What else? If you want to get a hold of Mr. Ryan Knight after today, you may want to. RyanOneilKnight.com, and that's Knight with a KN, not an N. If you want to touch base with myself, taplink.cc/the drvibeshow.com. And you can watch replays of this epic conversation on the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, the Afro Caribbean, that's on YouTube. Well, but then also on YouTube, sorry. You can catch it on Ryan Oneil Knight on YouTube and the Afro Caribbean Business Network. Great conversation today, family. Thank you so much. You family rocked the house today. We got another comment here. Ryan says, great show. Yeah, great show. We covered a lot of great things. And I love it. Conversation. Fantastic. I'm speaking that you're going to have a great rest of the week. If you're in Toronto, dress warm. Well, especially in winter, you got to dress warm, period, in Toronto. Outside of that, this is how we ended off. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions. Aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Remember to give yourself grace. And if you're not making money, make history. Try to do both and make it better. God bless. Peace be well. Keep the faith, walk good. And we'll see you soon.
This whole thing of using your business with plant-based products, don't you think your life should reflect that too?
Juke him, Carolyn. Juke him. The family loves us here because they're saying Fitness IQ Can says put a wig on to get in.
Oh God! Oh my God!
Like the ideas are just coming fast and furious here this morning. What? Okay, look at this. Global Women Ambassador. Good morning. Look forward. Okay.